Whether you're fond of it or not, at its core, Dota 2 is a team game with 5 players on each side. Because of this, communication is very important with the potential language barrier to overcome. So today, let's talk about the wonders of the chat wheel system present in Dota and how it can help you and your fellow players. Ah yes, what would Dota 2 be without communication? It's practically a core part of the game, and even a team of very low ranked players can play well above their rank if they're a unified squad as opposed to one that's squabbling amongst themselves. This is where the chat wheel comes especially in handy. Yes, you can make the funny man cosplaying as Crystal Maiden go brrr brrr in all chat, but you can also set up a variety of very useful quick commands for your teammates. This is even better because arguably the most wonderful part of the chat wheel is that any message you use through it gets auto-translated into the language of the player you're playing with. If you're a nice chap hanging out in the UK and you're playing with someone from Romania for an example, all your English chat wheel messages are translated into Romanian. It's incredibly helpful since it isn't everyone that's completely confident in their English. And it does prevent any would-be language barrier between two players, since the most important messages related to the ongoings of a Dota 2 game can be conveyed via the chat wheel. At no point should you consider writing things manually while actively playing your hero. You'll waste precious time and efficiency, and with the quick swing of a button, you can often tell your team really quickly what you think is the best course of action, provided you've set up important callouts like fall back, careful, I'm retreating in advance. Of course, a microphone is always going to be the strongest tool, but it comes with the caveat that some people don't like talking. Heck, some people might generally dislike your voice or find it grating and mute you, or find that you talk too much. Luckily for us, the chat wheel system really is quite in-depth and powerful and without being overly intrusive on people's personal space. It's very wise to familiarize yourself with the perks of using it. On top of being very good at getting a few calls across, like your desire for more wards on the map, I find that there are generally 2 extra parts of the chat wheel that helps out a ton when used correctly within a match. The first one is rather basic, and this one comes down to the idea of morale and camaraderie. Truly, an army of friends will perform well and amicably compared to one that's in shambles with every player hating each other with fierce passion. Believe it or not, using the chat wheel in this manner can go a very long way to building rapport with your teammates and even make them play better. Everyone likes to be told that they did good or they made an awesome play, so why not prepare some chat wheel commands for cases like that? If you see your Enigma land a black hole, even if it's just a mediocre one, let him know that he made a good play. If your mid-invoker lands a sunstrike to kill off a target, let him get a well played or a nice. This will bolster your player's opinion of you and make them feel themselves a lot more. Morale is such an important thing in a game of Dota, and we often as players forget how quickly things can devolve into mud-flinging and vicious words, when truly, if differences are just set aside, you really can overcome the most crazy of odds. The last bit of aid in this regard is the idea of the current time command that you can put on your chat wheel. This basically lets you copy the exact time of the game at the moment you use it and spit it out in team chat. This is especially potent in conjunction with taking out Roche, since you're able to get the exact time of when the big boy went down. And provided that you're shrewd enough to make use of said time, can plan for another Roche kill should it be necessary for the game to end. Last on the list, how could I not go over what kind of power this truly holds in your matches? If the International was anything to go by, it's quite obvious that players use the ever-living crap out of the system due to the mental effect it has on their opponents. Heck, Amari even paused official TI games so he could set up his chat wheel proper, so it was like the game chat wheel he plays pubs with, so he could reproduce the same effects in a professional environment.
Oh, you know why? Oh my god, you know why Amar paused? I know exactly why.
What?
Can you guess? It's so stupid.
Hotkeys? Something?
No, it's because he has to rebind his good game well played, which he spams in pubs all the time. He has to rebind it in the official games every time.
While I certainly don't condone being rude or toxic, it's very important I mention the effects of all chatting in this fashion. If you have various voice lines of any kind available to you, you can seriously get under your enemy's skin with a sly remark thrown at them when they least expect it. Let's be real. A Juggernaut that has a very bad safe lane game, not enjoying himself, and before he knows it goes 0-3 while being seriously tilted. In this circumstance, he's most likely already at his wit's end and seriously pissed. You actually throwing a global voice line at him might very well push him over the edge. It doesn't sound very nice when we put the system up like this, but it is very powerful when controlled right all the same. Especially because many Dota 2 players are bound to spouts of anger and swift, if regrettable, moments of poor decision making. Ultimately though, it is up to you how you want to express yourself in a game of Dota. Objectively speaking, it would very much be in your best interest to be friendly, civil and helpful towards your teammates, while you peck at your enemies to bring out the worst in them and increase your chances of victory. That's it for this week's video. What do you think about Dota 2's communication functions? Are you fond of them? And how much do you use them, if at all? Let me know in the comments. As always, you can catch me live on Twitch TV/FabKyobashi and can catch more content on this YouTube channel every Saturday. Communication is such a key to winning a game of Dota 2, so let's prep our chat wheel and shoot for the stars. MMR doesn't gain itself.